On their way to school, Okuma refuses to believe that his pure Anna turning into an aggressively thirsty perv was anything but a dream. However, Saitama shows him Anna's undies, which puts him in a state of shock again. At a council meeting, Anna, who is acting really weird for some reason, offers Ayame and Okuma some cookies. Anna tells Okuma that she added a secret ingredient she desperately wants him to try. She calls it love nectar, and when Okuma realizes what it is, he quickly gets the F out of the room to wash his mouth. While Okuma cleans up, Ayame worries about Anna failing to distinguish between love and lust. She also congratulates him for making Anna have feelings for him. However, Okuma says it's not what he wished for, saying that he admired Anna because of her purity. Suddenly, Anna appears and threatens to hurt Ayame for her closeness with Okuma and for seeing her at Okuma's home the night before. Ayame lies that she was there to advise Okuma about her love for her. Anna believes Ayame and promises Okuma to continue from where they left off that night. Later, Anna speaks with her mom and says she was out late because she was doing some righteous stuff. Sophia gives Anna the responsibility of getting more signatures for the new trackers. Meanwhile, Ayame gives Okuma the mission of hiding indecent pictures and maps of the Yotsuga forest around the school. It's to stop the students from going to the rally to sign the new trackers. While Okuma hides the pictures, Anna ambushes him and wants him to drink her freshly dripped love nectar, but he escapes. Anna tries to capture him so she can taste some of his love nectar, but he manages to escape again by jumping out the window. Anna chases him around the school, attracting Fu Wei's attention in the process. Some days later, Sophia brings more men from the decency squad to the school, and they discover some of the pictures that Okuma had hidden. On the day of the petition, Sophia is sure the day will go down as a great one in the history of all the morality academies. Meanwhile, Ayame heads to Yotsuga Forest to steal the indecent pictures, and Okuma tries to stop her. They find some of the decency squads when they reach the forest. Okuma decides to give up on going into the forest, but Ayame tells him she's ready to lose the battle and will go through it alone if need be. Shortly after, all the students rush towards Yotsuga Forest, hungry for more indecent pictures. At the rally, Sophia rages because the students didn't come to sign the petition. Anne arrives and asks her mother for permission to go to the Yotsuga Forest. At the entrance of Yotsuga Forest, Fu allays the students in with undergarment masks on their heads. The girls pretend to be there to stop the male students from getting the indecent books, and the decency squad chase after the boys. After they leave, the girls all plan to get the magazines before the decency squad returns. Meanwhile, Ayame, now dressed as Blue Tundra, is impressed by Fu Wei's work as they observe the chaos unfold from a distance. She tells Okuma that he's trying to be different persons at once. She then promises to give Okuma a chance to officially choose to join her group so he can decide on his loyalties. Anna suddenly shows up and chases them like a thirsty lunatic. As they run, Ayame tells Okuma to leave her and blend in with the other students since Anna is after her. Ayame pushes him away and he falls into a cave with an entrance shaped in a rather peculiar way, if I may say so myself. Once inside the cave, he finds the dirty magazines they are looking for. Meanwhile, Anna finally manages to catch Blue Tundra. Okuma ponders his present dilemma of either letting Anna catch Ayame and becoming free, or helping her. He soon finds a briefcase full of undergarments and decides it's time. As Anna attempts to unmask Blue Tundra, Okuma appears in his newly assembled power suit and claims to be the second founder of their group. As Anna tries to apprehend Okuma, she suddenly feels her body throbbing and wonders why. She then notices his strong resemblance to her Okuma. She feels guilty that her body would react that way toward another man. A leaking Anna jumps off a cliff, unhappy with how her body responds to a mere stranger. Later, Okuma accounts that they only managed to get 20 magazines. After going through the magazine, Saitama also puts all her energy into drawing more cultured pictures. At night, Ayame reveals that they forced all the arrested students to sign the petition because no one truly showed up. Meanwhile, Sophia tells that the masses embrace the petition. At her speech, she mistakenly holds up a dirty magazine. She quickly realizes the rebels have swapped her signed petitions with these magazines. On the roof, Ayame and Okuma celebrate their work. Okuma accounts that Sophia got into trouble for displaying those pictures on national television and the petition was cancelled. As Ayame and Okuma escape from the decency squad, Ayame keeps making lewd jokes that Okuma hates. However, he now acknowledges that he's involved in this wild ride for himself this time. In class, some students are excited by dirty pictures and wonder what to do with the culture they feel in their bodies. Okuma goes to meet Ayame at the coffee shop kitchen, and she reveals that they're there to make cultured toys. Ayame explains that while they've distributed magazines throughout the school, they didn't teach the students how to release the Kraken. The two also argue about making some toys for big boys too. Ayami also tells Okuma to ask Fuwa for help with making handheld massager eggs. She threatens to lock him in a room with Anna if he doesn't. After that, Ayami lets Saitama paint the toys, and Okuma performs the ever-important task of product quality assurance. Later, they mix ingredients for a lubricant, and Okuma checks the quality, which makes Ayami call him Senior Veta. Okuma quickly tells her to refrain from giving him sketchy nicknames. Ayami then reveals that the best thing about the toy is that you can eat the evidence when you're done since it's edible. The group then spent the rest of the day trying to fine-tune the toys they were making. Eventually, Okuma receives a message from Fuwa saying she's finished building the massager eggs. At the lab, Fuwa says they are wireless. However, she says there's a limited range of remote control because you must be in the same city as the person wearing the device. Fuwa asks Okuma how he'll use the devices, and he tells her they'll use them for health reasons. Fuwa asks Okuma to see his pet as payment for her work, but he doesn't agree. Suddenly, Anna enters the room and finds Fuwa wrapped around Okuma. Anna immediately confronts him, and he says he came to Fuwa to ask her opinion on a present he got for her. Anna grabs the massager egg from him and joyfully thinks of it as Okuma's gift, despite him saying he wants to give her a different present. As Anna leaves, Okuma hopes the egg won't work without the remote control. At her home, Anna turns the massager egg into a pendant so she can always keep the gift on her. The next morning, Ayami learns that their precious toy is with Anna. She's frustrated because she accidentally broke the one they had with her aggressive testing. She then hopes that Fuwa can still build them a new one. Oddly, Anna calls for a council meeting, which Ayami and Okuma attend. As Anna speaks, the egg on her necklace vibrates and Okuma can't stop it because the remote isn't working. Ayami leaves Okuma with Anna in the council room, and he wonders if she thinks he activated the device on purpose. Anna then holds on to Okuma as the culture erupts inside of her. Okuma decides to find Fuwa to fix the remote control. Fuwa tells Okuma that she can't fix the remote without the device. Meanwhile, Anna keeps chasing Okuma around as he desperately tries to escape. Okuma runs into Saitama, who gives off his location to Anna. Then Gariki catches Okuma and takes him to Anna, who had asked him to fetch Okuma for a council meeting. Gariki delivers Okuma to Anna, who wants to finish what they started in his apartment. While probing for his rocket ship, Anna accidentally switches the device to full power and gets hit by an Intensity 10 culture shock. Anna holds onto Okuma's legs, making his giraffe feel the pressure too. Eventually, the egg gets overloaded, saving Okuma from accidentally popping open the champagne bottle. A few days later, Anna asks Okuma for another power stone. He asks Ayami for advice on what to do, but she says he's on his own with this one and calls him a perv. Saitama suddenly appears and tells Okuma to stop playing hard to get. Jealous that she doesn't have his full attention, Anna chokes him and Okuma regrets enrolling on that school. Late at night, a decency officer gets ambushed by a rebel named Takuma after discovering a large stash of undergarments. The next day, the incident goes on the news. A girl named Kojiri sees the news and gets excited by the progress of Ayami's group. She goes to attack a group of decency squad officers and later leaves with a man on a bike to go meet Ayami and the gang. At Tokyoka Academy, Ayami explains how a heart looks like the male symbol of prosperity. Okuma recalls that in the past month, Ayami has joined forces with 4 large rebel groups: Advancement Assembly, Absolute Himalayas, the Mammals, and the Committee of Back and Lettuce Moms. I don't know what that is, but it sounds tasty. Ayami shares the magazines they found in Yotsuga Forest with the other groups, and they exchange their collections. The new magazines excite Saitami, who draws new pictures they plan to distribute like crazy. At lunch break, Garaki tells Okuma he made lunch for him and asks to eat with him. When Ayami finds them, Garaki tells her they'll eat lunches together. Ayami couldn't resist and excitedly makes an indecent statement, asking if the boys will share each other's banana. Okuma tells her to shut up. Not long after, they hear some noise from the ladies who claim their undergarments have been stolen. At a council meeting, Anna reveals that some rebels have been stealing undergarments, sometimes while they are still freshly worn. Anna also speaks about the recent onslaught of indecent magazines and says they must improve their patrol. Later, Okuma tells Awami doesn't think it's fair that the snatching is being blamed on them. Ayami sees someone going to the ladies' room and leaves Okuma behind. After Ayami leaves, Anna suddenly appears to surprise Okuma. Since he won't eat her love, she says she'll devour his throbbing love instead. Before Anna can take things any further, Garaki arrives looking for her. Anna abruptly drops Okuma on the ground, face soaked with her love nectar. After that, Okuma sees Saitomi drawing the events that transpired in a nearby bush. He asks her why she didn't help him, and she says she's too busy documenting culture. Okuma notices that Ayami hasn't come out of the locker room and enters to find Ayami Fuwa. Ayami thinks Fuwa is hiding some undergarments in her clothes. However, They learn that Fuwa is only hiding a magazine about boys' love. Okuma later blames Ayami and Saitumi for the BL magazines because of the startling resemblance of the characters with himself and Garaki. Ayami and Saitumi tell him that some of the women like that type of content, so they made magazines about him and Garaki, which now have a large following. Soon, the council members find several people who are the thieves. As they speak, a video recording plays of the leader of the undergarment thieves, Takuma, revealing their organization called Fabric. Takuma says they are working with Ayami's group to steal undies in the name of justice. At their hideout, Ayami and Okuma are infuriated that Takuma is destroying their reputation and making them look like bad guys. Ayami tells him that if they lose people's trust, knowledgeable education about making love will be lost. At night, Okuma runs into Kosiri, who is being chased by the Decency Squad. Kosiri asks him to save her from the Decency Squad. They run away, eventually meeting Fuwa, who complains about Okuma confiscating her comic. The Decency Squad closes in on them, and Fuwa makes Okuma promise to let her keep her comic in exchange for helping them escape. After escaping the Decency Squad, Kosiri gets handsy with Okuma to thank him for saving her. However, he squirms and she apologizes. Kosiri tells Okuma that she came to the city because she was inspired by the strength of the student council at Tokioka and asks him to introduce her to them. The biker man that brought Kosiri shows up and confronts her for ditching him. He reveals that Kosiri is the daughter of a rich indecency supporter named Onigashira. Kosiri knocks him out with a taser before he can continue speaking. She then reveals to Okuma that she came to join their group and tells him she'll have to shock him to wipe his memory. To save himself, Okuma tells her he is part of Ayumi's group and she hugs him. When they meet, Ayumi tells Kosiri to return to her father. But she tells them that her father has gone soft and she would rather be with them. Ayumi tells Okuma she's dangerous, but Kosiri offers some funds and weapons. Ayami asks her why she has all the weapons and Kosiri tells them that she has been a child who has been picked on and her father gave her some weapons to protect herself. When Kosiri starts to sob, Okuma pities her. Eventually, they decide that they have no choice but to protect Kosiri because of her VIP status. Ayami reluctantly agrees and reveals her true identity to Kosiri. The next morning, Okuma wakes up to find Kosiri on his bed. He later notices Anna nearby wielding a knife, so he lies that Kosiri is his sister. Kosiri goes along with his story and mentions that Okuma has a crush on Anna, which makes Anna's nectar overflow again. Anna says she had them at knife point all night because she misinterpreted the situation. After Anna leaves, Gariki arrives at Okuma's door and asks to walk to their council meeting with him. To hide Kosiri, Okuma tells Gariki to walk without him. In Okuma's closet, Saitumi draws some pictures of Okuma and Gariki. On their way to school, Ayami continues to joke about Gariki and Okuma. She also mentions that the Decency Squad is sending a new representative to their school who was trained to recognize cultured things. At school, the new representative named Oboro reveals that she's under orders from the Decency Squad to become the school's new prefect. She says her mission is to remove all forms of indecency from the school. One of the things Oboro removes is their basketball hoop because of its resemblance with a certain hole. This excites Anna but not the other council members. She also removes their tug-of-war ropes because they can be used to tie people up in fantasies. She also confiscates the school's ping-pong balls and volleyball net because it resembles stockings. The students seem worried that the rebels will no longer be able to distribute naughty pictures with Oboro around. Fuwa soon appears under Oboro's seat with an indecent comic about Gariki and Okuma, asking her about boys' love. Oboro attempts to take the comic, but Fuwa protests that she needs it for her study. Oboro agrees with Fuwa, but Okuma says that she gave in to Fuwa too easily. At home, Okuma meets Kosiri, who is indecently dressed, and Saitama hopes to catch them getting down and nasty. Sometime later, Kosiri asks Okuma how he met Blue Tundra, and he recounts how she rescued him from the Decency Squad. Okuma tells Kosiri about Hayami's strength and loyalty. Later, Ayami changes Kosiri's clothes to help her hide from the Decency Squad in plain sight. Ayami explains that they've conquered Tokioka Academy and their next plan is to take over another school named Zao Shigeroka. Kosiri volunteers herself and Okuma for the job of pictures. In front of Zao Shigeroka Academy, Kosiri offers to sneak into the academy to learn the layout and get more information on where to hide the magazines. When Okuma reports Kosiri's actions, Ayami thinks that Kosiri has acted out of line and may get caught. Then Anna appears with Oboro, who has confiscated the entire school supply of toilet rolls because they can be used for immorality. Anna later reveals that there are more prefects than Oboro. Okuma notices Anna keeps moving around uncomfortably, and Anna later reveals it's because of the love overflowing within her. She asks Okuma's thoughts about the prefects because her love for him makes her crave his validation. Later that day, Kosiri gives a map of Zhao Shigeroka Academy after spying on the student council. She tells them she had hidden some magazines and hacked the school's TV system to only display flies doing something. Ayami gets excited at Kosiri's progress, and they talk about more indecent things. At Okuma's home, Kosiri starts giving Okuma orders because she's become more useful to their group than him. Okuma asks her how she infiltrated the student council at Zhao Shigeroka. Kosiri tells him that she created a love rivalry. She talks about making the male president and vice president fall in love with her on her first day. On her second day, she says that she manipulated the president and vice president to propose to the female council members. Long story short, she eventually took control of that school's student council. After her story, Okuma says Kosiri's methods are too mean and don't necessarily fit Ayami's ideal for their group. Kosiri confronts Okuma about being in love with Ayami. She continues mocking Okuma, even asking him to massage and lick her foot. At the school, the prefects continue their crackdown on indecent materials. Meanwhile, Anna gets turned on by how much Okuma will love her the more her prefects do their work. Later, Ayami says their work is in trouble because of the prefects since students are being given the ability to recognize indecency, which would make their work harder. She also mentions their problems with gathered fabric but says she has a plan because the war is now about to get hardcore.
In the end, don't forget to subscribe and algorithms say you will like this video.